remember what is the meaning of over, no? Okay, we'll see tomorrow, don't we? So we'll see tomorrow. So that we'll see this topic tomorrow because it will not be over. So just think now. Okay, I'm doing homework now. Okay. This is the homework for you. Now you have to come tomorrow ready for that. Look here. In me, okay, don't bother about it, just in me, which is Nirvikalpa Brahma, okay, whether the bondage can be there, for that, whether this bondage is Vikalpa or not. If it is Vikalpa, it has no room in me, the Satchidananda Brahma. Now find out, okay. If you want to discuss, etc., whatever you do, tomorrow you let me know, okay. In Nirvikalpa Brahma, there is no room for any Vikalpa. No Bhedas whatsoever, no divisions whatsoever can be accommodated into Nirvikalpa Brahma. Whether it is Nama Rupa Jagat Bheda or Jiveshwara Bheda, Jiva Jagat Bheda or Jagat Ishwara Bheda, no Bhedas, no Vikalpas can be possible in the Nirvikalpa Brahma. And yet, if we cognize or perceive this world, it only amounts to mean that the Savikalpa Jagat is Kalpita in Nirvikalpa Brahma. Because when you say Nirvikalpa Brahma, what is the nature of Brahma? Brahma is Sarvavyapi, all pervasive. It is Advaya. There is nothing other than Brahma. When there is nothing other than Brahma, and yet you perceive, you experience the Savikalpa Jagat, the two things cannot be there. Why two things cannot be there? If Brahma is one thing and Jagat is another thing, Jagat will limit the Brahma and Brahma will be limited, and therefore it cannot be anymore Brahma, because being limited it is destructible, it cannot be Brahma. So therefore, Brahma being what it is, and yet it is Nirvikalpa, Advaya, Sarvavyapi, and yet if the Jagat is experienced, it only amounts to say that the Savikalpa Jagat is Kalpita. Kalpita means Aropita. Kalpita means Aropitam. Aropitam, it is superimposed in Nirvikalpa Brahma. That is the only possibility that we can arrive at. So that means the Savikalpa Jagat should necessarily be Mithya in nature. If it is Satya, then it will limit the Brahma. It is Mithya in nature. In this concept, we are just trying to understand whether me, I, is it bound or not? We have got now this much we have arrived at, that Brahma is Nirvikalpa. No Vikalpas whatsoever can be accommodated in Brahma. It cannot, and it has, though the Savikalpa Jagat is Kalpita, Aropita, superimposed in Brahma, actually speaking, Nirvikalpa Brahma has no connection whatsoever with the Savikalpa Jagat. Just as though the snake is superimposed on the rope actually has no connection whatsoever with the snake. So like that, the relation between the Brahma and the Jagat, in the sense, the Jagat has nothing to do with the Brahma, or Brahma has nothing to do with the Brahma. You can't say Jagat has nothing to do with Brahma. You know why? Jagat has everything to do with the Brahma, because it can't exist without the Brahma. Whereas the Brahma has nothing to do with the Jagat. Just as the rope has nothing to do with the snake, but the snake cannot, the delusive snake cannot exist without the rope. So also, Brahma has nothing to do with the Savikalpa Jagat, but Savikalpa Jagat has to depend on the Brahma. So therefore, if that is the case, we have to find in this context, me, I, is it bound or not? In this context, we have to investigate whether the bondage is Vikalpa or not. My question was very simple, okay? I heard that it is the doubt, the question itself is not understood, etc., 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 etc. So I had asked a simple question, whether the bondage is Vikalpa or not. How many of you have done the homework now? How many of you have thought about it? See, whether this Vikalpa, the bondage, is Vikalpa or not. What is Vikalpa? Yes, I won't be satisfied with yes or no. I would like to know why. So, therefore, Now, the question is this: what is the vikalpa? That means what is vikalpa? A bheda. Nama, rupa, jati, dharma, etc. Bheda. Just to remind ourselves. Okay. Now the question is whether this bondage is a vikalpa or not. Yes, somebody said yes, it is a vikalpa. Why? How? How is it a vikalpa? Why is it a vikalpa? For that, let us first see what is bondage. Is it bondage something like a ghost sitting on your head, or like an appendix, like a tail, or something tying your hands and legs with some chains or ropes? Is it some bondage? What do you mean by bondage? Are you bound or not? If you are not bound, you have no business here. Okay. So, if you are bound, when you say I am bound, what do you mean by that? Where exactly do you cognize I am bound? Do you see I am bound tied somewhere? Are you here? I am bound, I am bound, I am bound. What do you mean by I am bound? See, I have got bondage means I am bound. Where exactly do you cognize? Which part of the body you see that I am bound? Is it not a notion? That I am bound is a notion. It is a vritti. It is a thought. Now please tell me, in this statement I am bound, what exactly you mean by I? Problem is there only. Look here. When I say I am bound, what exactly you mean by the word I? What do you refer by the word I there? When you say I am bound, baddhoham, aham baddha. What exactly you refer by the word I when you say I am bound? Is it not the ahankara, the notional I, the identification of the body, gross body and the subtle body and the causal body? Do you really I should resolve where? Yamatma paranandaha. Yam samvit. Once upon a time you had done it, you know. So, yam samvit atma. This samvit we have arrived, knowledge principle we have arrived is I. Do you take that as I when you say I am bound? Certainly not. If that, you see, if you mean by I the samvit, it is parananda. Where is the question of I am bound? I am nitya muktaha. No. When you say I am bound, what is being done is, so the I is misplaced in the gross body, subtle body, means the gross and the subtle bodies and causal bodies also are taken as I, means that is the erroneous I, the ahankara I, the notional I that you are referring as the I when you say make the statement that I am bound. Is it not? It is not the paranandaha atma, not satchidananda atma I you are referring. Actually I should finally resolve where? In the satchidananda atma parananda only. So therefore, when you say I am bound, that I refers to the notional I, the ahankara I, the misplaced I. So where you take the body etc. as the I, that erroneous I is taken as I am bound. Means, actually, I am bound is a vritti, a notion. Now, this vritti, a notion, from where did you start? Whether bondage is a vikalpa or not. Now, please tell me, I am bound, this vritti, a notion, is it a vikalpa or not? No? Okay, where has it come, that vritti? When you say vritti, vritti of what? Maybe it is of the type that I am bound, ahankara vritti. Of what? Antakarana. Okay, now antakarana is a vikalpa or not? Still doubt? Okay, where the antakarana is housed? Is a part of the subtle body. Where the subtle body is housed? Physical body. Subtle body is a vikalpa or not? Where the subtle body is housed? Physical body, gross body. Is it a vikalpa or not? Yes. What this subtle body, gross body, including your antakarana vritti are made up of? 5 elements. Not Panchakosh. Panchakosh are the same thing. 3 bodies are 5, Panchakosh same thing. They are made up of 5 elements. Vikalpas or not? Sure? Therefore, your bondage is a vikalpa or not? Okay, is it not a vikalpa? Now come and tell me. Can this bondage have any accommodation in Nirvikalpa Brahma? By inquiry, Shravana, that means Vedantic inquiry, we have discovered that Yamatma Parananda itself is Brahma. The Brahma, Nirvikalpa Brahma, which cannot accommodate any Vikalpa whatsoever, is the Brahma, which is the verily the Atma I. So, in that, so that I am bound should necessarily be a Vikalpa which has no room whatsoever in the Nirvikalpa Brahma. Even otherwise we can see, look here. When you say I am bound, certainly it is a vritti. It is a vritti, a thought. How do you know that vritti? Thought that I am bound. Do you know that you are bound? Yes or no? Yes. See, another thing what happens? It is a vritti to begin with, I am the body, etc. Thereafter what happens? Whatever that happens in the body, etc. happens in me. The body, etc. they are ever changing. That is what the samsara, sorrow, limitation, etc. they happen to be superimposed in me. Okay. Now, when you say I am bound, is a vritti known to you. Therefore, because it is a vritti known to you, and vritti being itself inert, how do you know that vritti? Because it is illumined. It is sakshi bhasya. It is illumined by me, the Chaitanya awareness samvit tattva. I, the samvit tattva awareness principle Chaitanya, illumine this awareness, this vritti that I am bound. Now tell me that I awareness, is it same as the aham, the I am bound vritti, or distinct and different from the vritti? Can that vritti cover I awareness Atma? See, you are, so one of you is standing there in the open ground and looking at the sun. Big mass of cloud came. And what happened? What got covered? Sun got covered, is it? Okay, to begin with, let us say sun is, the person says the sun is covered. Okay. At that time, let us say the person says, seeing that means the sun is covered. Let us assume or imagine that you are, at that time you are on the sun without any damage to your eyes and your body, okay? Not being burned, getting burned. Just let us imagine. You have placed yourself on the sun, and this person says, standing here, says that the sun is covered. You are there, let us say some telecommunication is there between you and him, and he says, hey, sun is covered. How about you? What will the answer? What? What? Sun is covered. How come? How the sun is covered? You have placed yourself on the sun. Is the sun covered for you? No. For him, he says sun. Not only sun has become, first he says sun has become dull. Because that mass of cloud was not that thick as such. So little, because he could see the sun, afterward totally covered. In either case, you, the one who is on the sun, can you say that the sun is covered? What will be your version of the phenomena? When this person is telling you that the sun is covered, how will you describe the phenomena? The clouds have come in front of the sun and they are being illumined by the sun. Then what exactly happened in the case of this person? What got covered? Sun is never covered. What got covered was his sight was covered, is it not? Drishti. The drishti, the sight of the person who is observing the sun, that was covered, but not knowing the fact that what does he say? That what is covered is the sun. Sun is never covered, the self-luminous sun can never be covered. So also, when you say, that means I am bound, you are verily illumining the vritti, that notional vritti that I am bound, and I, the Atma, is what? Ever free from even the vritti that I am bound. How come the bondage at any time touch even Atma? Just as the sun can never be covered by any mass of clouds, so also I, Atma, Savit Parananda Swarupa, can never be covered by or never be bound by the so-called notional vritti, the bondage. Is it not? Because see, घनच्छन्न दृष्टिर घनच्छन्न मर्कम यथा निष्प्रभम मन्यते चाति मूढ़ः तथा बद्धवद्भाति यो मूढ़ दृष्टेः स नित्योपलब्धि स्वरूपोऽहम् आत्मा. घनच्छन्न दृष्टि, Name of the person. The one whose drishti, the sight is Ghanachanna, which is covered by the clouds. Ghanachanna markam. That means the sun which is covered, appear to have covered by the arka. So Nishprabham manyate. He considers him to be Nishprabha, dull as such. Who can say so? Atimudaha, the person who is thoughtless, when the sense who has no discrimination. He says, takes it to be so. Tatha baddhavad bhati yo mudha drishte. So also the Atma, that means appears as a for whom? Mudha drishti. Mudha drishti, the one who has got the, that means the vision is topsy-turvy, the one who is deluded, he thinks that for him the Atma appears to be bound. So saha nityopalabdhi sarupaha ahamatma. Nityopalabdhi sarupaha. One who is always there, free from any bondage, that is what is I. Same thing, in fact, the same fact has been very beautifully put by Tulsidas ji. You know who is Tulsidas ji? The saint and the poet who has written Ramayana. It's called as the Tulsi Ramayana, Ramcharitmanas. So Ramcharitmanas, nicely is put it. You say, Yatha Gagana Ghana Patala Nihari. See, Jhampeu Bhanu Kahahi Kuichari. Yatha, it says Yatha Gagana Ghana Patala Nihari. The Nihari, one is observing Gagana Ghana Patala. Patala. A dark mass of clouds, a very, not heavy, Ghana means dense, not dark, dense mass of clouds. So the person who is observing the dense mass of clouds, this is what does he say? See, Jhampeu Bhanu. The Bhanu, the sun is covered. Kahahi, he is telling Kuvichari. Kuvichari means the fellow is not able to think properly, he is not able to discriminate properly. What was covered was his sight, but he says the sun is covered. So also, when I say, that means when you say that I am bound, what is covered is buddhi. Our intellect is covered due to ignorance. Atma can never be covered. Atma can never have bondage. Bondage is a vikalpa. And me, which is, that means Satchidananda Paramatma, which is not different from Brahma, which can never accommodate any vikalpa, cannot entertain the vikalpa even of the bondage. So therefore, when there is no bondage, where is the question of liberation? If no liberation, why Vedanta? What is the state of Vedanta? Because you take yourself to be bound. What can be done? You take yourself to be bound, therefore what? Vedanta is necessary. In the knowledge of my real nature, when I discover that aham nitya muktaha, at no time I was bound, the job of Vedanta is over. But it is not verbally saying I am nitya muktaha, ko vidhi, ko nishedha, etc. All this is, remember that story. What this story? Red chilies. Story of red chilies, keep in mind. So therefore, such a verbal just lip service will not help, but one has to discover that I am ever free, never bondage can touch me. So therefore, so nirvikalpa Brahma is same as me, and there cannot be any vikalpas whatsoever in me. So this is the fact that we have to discover. Not only discover, that mind should dwell on that. So that must be the only preoccupation of the mind. Then only, and in the positive discovery of what my real nature is, thereafter samsara, sorrows cannot touch the individual. So that is the case. So that means now, that means Brahma is nirvikalpa. It has no, that means no vikalpas whatsoever. Even the so-called bondage is a vikalpa, can never be in nirvikalpa Brahma, which is verily my real nature, which you have to discover aparokshataya. Not just paroksha jnana, it should be aparoksha jnana, and afterwards you will come to know that even the habitual errors also have to be destroyed. Okay. Now, having replied the Purva Paksha, and of course in the Vitanda manner, because it was not a proper objection, so having answered him, now he says, if the question is by a person, or Purva Paksha is by a person who is a sincere seeker, who has not yet understood the actual import of Tattvamasi Mahavakya, and he wants to know. And if that genuine question is like that, then to him the answer, Vidyaranya Muni gives the answer. He says, actually, for the 49 stanza Purva Paksha, this is the answer. What is coming in the 52nd stanza is the answer. But earlier, that Vitanda answer was given just to, that means if the person is asking the question from a mischievous standpoint, he has to be cut to his own side, and also to hint at that Nirvikalpa Brahma cannot accommodate any Vikalpas. That way it was answer given. But it was useful, that answer also was useful. So just ascertain that the Jagat is Kalpita in the Nirvikalpa Brahma. Stanza 52. Vikalpa tadabhavabhyam asansprushtatma vastuni विकल्पितत्व लक्ष्यत्व संबंधाध्यास्तु कल्पिताः विकल्पितत्व लक्ष्यत्व संबंधाध्यास्तु कल्पिताः विकल्प तदभावाभ्याम असंस्पृष्टात्म वस्तुनि विकल्पितत्व लक्ष्यत्व संबंधाध्याः तु कल्पिताः. So, in the Atma Vastu of this nature, what type we will see, as described in the first line, all these, what are those? So, Vikalpitatva, Lakshatva, Sambandha Adi, all these are so Kalpitaha. Kalpitaha means Aropitaha. So, they are superimposed. So, what is that Atma Vastu? Atma Vastu, like this. The Atma Vastu, which is asamsprishta, untouched, which has no connection whatsoever with this, with what? Vikalpa and Tadabhavabhyam. So means the Atma Vastu, which is free from both Vikalpa and Tadabhava. Tadabhava means Vikalpasya abhavaha. Vikalpa, so Vikalpa, Bhedas. And Tadabhava means Tasya Vikalpasya abhava. Means what it is? Absence of Vikalpa means Nirvikalpa. Nirvikalpa. So that in that Atma Vastu, which is asamsprishta. Asamsprishta means it is samsparsha rahita. No sparsha means no connection whatsoever, no relation whatsoever with these two. Vikalpa, that is the Vedas like Nama, Rupa, Jati, Dharma, these Vedas. And Tadabhava, absence of these Vedas means Nirvikalpa. We will see that why it is free from Nirvikalpa also, we will come to that. So, in that Atma Vastuni means Paramatma Vastuni, which is free from both Vikalpa and the absence of Vikalpa, that is Nirvikalpa. Or Vikalpa Tadabhavabhyam, we can take like this. Vikalpa and Nirvikalpa in the sense, you see, Tadabhava stands for Nirvikalpa. It can be taken in the context of the Purva Paksha, like this. Mahavakya Lakshitam Paramartha Vastu Savikalpam va Nirvikalpam va Ityakaraka Vicharanaya Asamsprishtatma Vastuni. The Purva Paksha has raised that doubt that Lakshya of Mahavakya, Mahavakya with Tattvamasi Mahavakya, is it Savikalpa Brahma or Nirvikalpa Brahma? That was the Parama question. So, that Atma Vastu, Paramatma Vastu, wherein such a doubt Vikalpa is not possible, such a doubt whether it is Savikalpa or Nirvikalpa is not possible. So, that in this way, Mahavakya Lakshitam Paramartha Vastu, the Paramartha Vastu, that means the ultimate reality, which is Mahavakya Lakshitam, Mahavakyena Lakshitam, which is implied by Mahavakya, whether it is Savikalpam va Nirvikalpam va. Is it Savikalpa Vastu Brahma or Nirvikalpa Vastu Nirvikalpa Brahma va? Iti Akaraka Vicharanaya. Means such type of inquiry means you cannot apply this inquiry to that Brahma at all. Why it cannot be, you see? So, in that yes, Vikalpa Tadabhavabhyam, so from these Asamsprishtatma vasuni. Asamsprishtatma vasuni means asangatma padarthe. The Atma means asanga. In the sense, samsparsha rahite paramatma vasuni. The Paramatma which has no connection whatsoever with the Vikalpa or the absence of Vikalpa or such inquiry, whether it is Savikalpa Brahma or Nirvikalpa Brahma, in that Atma Vastuni. So, now here we have to see why that Brahma is free from even Nirvikalpa. Brahma is free from Vikalpa, understandable, because it cannot accommodate any Vikalpas. Why do you say it has no connection with the Nirvikalpa also? When you say Nirvikalpa Brahma, what do you mean by that? Don't you use the word adjective Nirvikalpa as an adjective for the Brahma? Nirvikalpam Brahma, when you say, is an adjective, is it not? How do you say that Brahma has no connection whatsoever with the Nirvikalpa? Because Nirvikalpa is with respect to Vikalpa. In reality, for Brahma, even Nirvikalpa word cannot be applied. Why Nirvikalpa? Because see, Nirvikalpa means absence of Vikalpa. Now to be there, the absence of Vikalpa, Vikalpa must be there or not? You see, to arrive at the absence of Vikalpa, first Vikalpas must be there, then you are talking about the absence. Means if Vikalpas are there, that Brahma is no more Brahma. Even any word to Brahma, always you see by Vyavahara only you use. You see, don't you use Advaya Brahma, Advaya word for Brahma? What do you mean by Advaya? Dvaya Rahitam, which means there is no Dvaya, is it not? Even that means to say that Dvaya must be there first and then you negate the Dvaya, Advaya. Even the Advaya word also is not proper. Why Advaya? Even your blessed word Brahma also. You can't apply the word Brahma to Brahma. The moment you open your mouth, foul. In the game sometimes you say foul, you say like that. You say Nirvikalpa Brahma, foul. Advaya Brahma, foul. Brahma, foul. Do you know why? What is that word Brahma? How has it come? Vruddhau. Okay, one meaning you can say. In the sense of growth. You have got the adjective Bruhat, the big. From there the Brahman. So the noun has been made, neuter. Okay. The big. The big is a relative word with respect to small. So therefore when you say the big, you are supposing the small. So therefore what? Is it Brahman? Therefore what you do? Keep quiet. Mauna vyakya prakatita parabrahma tattvam yuvanam. Is it not? No. In Vyavahara, for communication, we have to make use of these words. Without that, communication is not possible. We have to make use of the words like Brahma, Advaya, Nirvikalpa, etc. But we should know the limitations of these words which are used very to communicate and make us understand what the Brahma is. In fact, elsewhere, Panchadeshikara himself is going to elaborate on this. In some chapter he is going to say. Because Purvapaksha comes, say, look here, don't be too smart. Because the Purvapaksha points out the limitations of the word. Yes, I have to make use of this because you have not got the knowledge of what the Brahma is. So in Vyavahara, I have to make use of this. That's okay. So therefore, so that is what is said, tadabhava means the Atma Vastu, the Paramatma Vastu, which is free from both Vikalpa, Vedas, etc., Nirvikalpa, absence of that. Because we have to talk of Nirvikalpa because we are presently where? In Savikalpa Jagat. We are presently in the Savikalpa Jagat. So therefore we have to speak of the Nirvikalpa. See, after all, we have to travel from the known to the unknown. Presently, do you know Atma, Paramatma, Brahma? No. But what about the Jagat? Do you know the world or not? Certainly. Is it not? So therefore, from the known Jagat, as a Tatastha Lakshana which we are making use of the Savikalpa Jagat, we are probing into to discover what the Brahma is. Therefore, in the language of the Vyavahar of the known word, we have to make use of the word Nirvikalpa. So therefore, but in reality, Brahma is free from both Vikalpa and Nirvikalpa. That is what is Vikalpa Tadabhavabhyam Asamsprishtatma Vastuni. In the Atma Vastu, Paramatma Vastu, which is totally free from, which has no connection whatsoever with the Vikalpa, that means Vikalpa or Nirvikalpa. So in that, all these are kalpitaha, aropitaha. What are all these? Vikalpitatva, lakshatva, sambandhadhya. Let us say one by one. Vikalpitatva. Vikalpatatva means Brahma being the object of inquiry in terms of Savikalpa or Nirvikalpa, like that. See, when the question was asked, whether Brahma you are talking as Lakshartha, is it Savikalpa Brahma or Nirvikalpa Brahma, means Brahma has become the object of inquiry. What type of inquiry? Whether it is Savikalpa or Nirvikalpa. That is what is the Lakshitatva. In other words, like this. See, Vikalpitatvam nama Savikalpasya va Nirvikalpasya va iti purvoktena Vishayikritatvam. Earlier, that means Vishayikritatvam means Brahma being made as an object of inquiry, whether that Brahma is Savikalpa Brahma or Nirvikalpa Brahma. So that is what is the Vikalpitatva. Then Lakshatva. Lakshatva means Brahman gaining the status of being the Lakshartha of Lakshanavritti. So we said Tattvamasi Mahavakya, that means the Lakshartha of the Tattvamasi Mahavakya is Brahma, we said. So that means Brahma has got the status of being the Lakshartha, the implied meaning of the Tattvamasi Mahavakya. That is what Lakshatvam. That is, Lakshatvam means Lakshanavrittya Jnapyatvam. Brahman gaining the status of being known through the Lakshanavritti of the Mahavakya Tattvamasi. So first being the object of inquiry, whether it is Savikalpa Brahma or Nirvikalpa Brahma, then that being the Lakshartha of the status of being the Lakshartha of the Mahavakya by Lakshanavritti. So Vikalpitatva, Lakshatva, Sambandhadhyaha. Sambandhadhyaha, Sambandha. These are Nayayika's terminologies. Sambandha. Sambandha means Sanyoga. Some connection. Sambandha. So, what Sambandha we say? Look here. We say the Jagat is the Adhisthana for the, not Jagat, not, the Brahma is the Adhisthana for the Jagat. So, therefore, there appears to be a relation between the Brahma and the Jagat. We say Abhinna Nimitta Upadana Karana, etc. We say there appears to be a Sambandha, relation between them. So Sanyoga, Adi stands for all the padarthas of the Nayayikas. Dravya, Guna, Kriya, Samanya, Vishesha, Samavaya, including Abhava also. So Abhava is there. Do you say or not? Yes. All these things. So all these of the Nayayikas, that is referred means, in other words, Sambandhadi stands for all blessed thing that is there in the creation. In whatever, with whatever terminologies you may describe that. So but all that is there in the creation, Sambandhadhyaha. So all these are Kalpitaha. They are Kalpitaha means Aropita. They are apparently superimposed. So therefore, your question was what? How come whether the Lakshartha of, so that means Tattvamasi is Savikalpa Brahma or Nirvikalpa Brahma. If it is Savikalpa Brahma, it cannot be Brahma because Savikalpa is Sadharmaka. Therefore it is Gunas. So therefore it cannot be Brahma. If it is Nirvikalpa, it cannot be Lakshartha, nacha nadrishtam, nacha sambhavi was told. It cannot be the Lakshartha of the Brahma. Look, in spite of being Nirvikalpa, it can be the Lakshartha. Why? Because Vikalpas are something which are Aropitaha. You are experiencing them. So that what we are denying or negating or dismissing is not the real Vikalpas. We are dismissing the Mithya Vikalpas, and therefore in Vyavahara, so the Brahma, Nirvikalpa Brahma can be the Lakshartha of the Tattvamasi Mahavakya through Lakshana Vritti. So therefore there should not be any problem in arriving at the Nirvikalpa Brahma in terms of Lakshartha of the Tattvamasi Mahavakya in terms of Lakshana Vritti. So therefore that is possible. Because these are all Kalpitaha. So therefore, what Paraspara Viruddhansha Parityaga of what? In Tattvamasi we have seen the Paraspara Bhagatyaga or Paraspara Viruddhansha of Kalpitaha only, of Kalpita. We are not talking about the real the Bhaga, Ansha, etc. because what Ansha can you speak in Nirvikalpa Brahma? Which Bhaga? Leave alone Viruddha. Otherwise, which Bhaga, which Ansha can you speak in Brahma? There is no. But we have got enough material in terms of Kalpita. Kalpita, it is superimposed. See, look here. Jivatva of Jiva, is it not superimposed in Satchidananda Swarupatma? Ishwaratva of Brahma, is it superimposed or real? Look. Ishvara also enjoys the same reality, same degree of reality as that of Jiva. But in Vyavaharika Jagat, he is useful because we have concluded ourselves to be the Jiva. Don't say there is no Ishvara. Yes, if you are already rooted in Nirvikalpa Brahma, neither the first thing, there is no Jiva, there is no Jagat, and thereafter no Ishvara. That is fine, because everything is Nirvikalpa Brahma. But if you have not got that knowledge and not rooted in that, thereafterwards telling that there is no Ishvara will be amount of hypocrisy. Other things are there. Only what is not there? Ishvara is not there. You know, I just, many years back, when I didn't know anything about Vedanta, I was just a boy, not a, just maybe a youth. In our place, native place, there was one elderly relative. He was a widower and he was staying alone as such. And afterwards I started taking little interest in Vedanta, etc. in the beginning of that. And once I happened to go there, I met a respectable gentleman, a relative he was, elderly person. He had read some books of Vedanta because he was from older generation. He knew Sanskrit. And he had read so many books on Vedanta. So somehow he came to know that I have got some interest in this, but I didn't know much about it at that time. So he was talking, etc. And generally, what he was telling me, he told, this gentleman, that means in the villages, etc., you have the family deity. Family deity means not the temple, etc. In the house, etc., there are certain idols, etc., and certain festivals, certain worships, etc., are to be meticulously performed. For example, Navaratra, Navaratra, 9 days of the Navaratra festival, that puja he had to do elaborately. In fact, his brother was not there, brother's wife, etc., and children, they used to go there every year and help him because he was only one person, he was meticulously. But what this gentleman was telling was, look here, I don't believe in all these gods, etc., etc., etc. I know this gentleman does the puja meticulously. Even he has got fever, he will take the cold bath and do the puja, etc. And what you say? I don't believe, this is all false. I will throw this in the streets. Look here. The idols, etc. Throw these in the streets, etc. I was not able to understand what it is all about. What he means actually, etc. Of course, I gave a patient hearing because he is an elderly person. I don't know much about that. At the same time, he was talking all these things. I knew a fact. That fellow, that person was nearing about 75 or between 70 and 75 he was. He had a dispute about a small piece of land with a neighbor. And he was also telling, I will teach him a lesson. To whom? to the neighbor. And where? That means the case was filed in the court in the district headquarters, which is 20 miles away. Not modern transport of these days. This is a story about, I would say, about 20 years back or so. That 20 or 25 years back. So those days, and this person I know, is old with a frail health, used to go by the bus to that district headquarters to fight the suit. What? Now afterwards I could understand what must have been in his mind thinking. He must have certainly read some Shankara Bhashya somewhere, and he must have come across the word mithya, So he must have come across the word mithya. Jiva, Jagat, Ishvara, all are mithya. So therefore what? So according to him was, all these deities, etc. are what? Mithya. So what is mithya? It doesn't know. So therefore, that means these are all false. Yes, these are false, but that piece of land is what? Very true, Satyam. See, this is what? These deities, etc., I will throw in the street. You see, actually, not as a disrespect or anything as such. I have understood something, I have read something, and this is what it is. This is all false, etc. False means mithya. He doesn't know. I will throw that. That is false, but the piece of land is Satyam. This is what dangerous Vedanta. So that it should be understood in the right perspective. So therefore, yes. I mean, when Ishvara is, we can say as Vikalpa, Aropita, etc., when I am established in the Nirvikalpa Brahma, till that I have to make use of not only Ishvara, starting from Vedanta prayer, of course, Ishvara means prayers, etc., all do come, starting from Vedanta, otherwise Vedanta is Satya or Mithya. Vedanta is Vikalpa, Savikalpa or Nirvikalpa. Savikalpa. But it is to be made use of. It is to be like a dream tiger. The dream tiger helped you. No, not dream tiger. Yes. You got freed from dream tiger because of cold touch of Ganges. In the dream, you are being chased by a tiger. And you started running and running and running for your life. And you came to a point, there is a deep valley. This is a mountain was there, you are running and you came to a point of valley, one step further, doom, where? In the valley. You can't run back. Why? The fellow is just behind you. But by your very force of running, when you reached there, you lost the balance and what happened? You fell in the valley, deep down was Ganges flowing, and when you fell in the Ganges, the icy cold touch of that woke you up. Real? Tiger was real or mithya? Tiger was real or mithya? If mithya, why were you running? You could have said, hello tiger, I know you are a mithya, come on, shake hand with me. Did you tell him the dream? So, was he real or not? Yes. So if that was real, that cold touch also was real at that time, but it helped you to get out from that, and then you discover what? Both the tiger and the cold touch of the Ganges was mithya. See, the partial Vedanta will not help. Okay, that means it should be understood in the right perspective. So therefore, till I discover the truth, Ishvara, prayers, worship, study, japa, nididhyasana, all are meaningful. So that they have to be taken to. Then we have to grow out of the necessity of these. Then only you can say, yes, that is what everything is Nirvikalpa, Brahma only, not till that. Till I discover that I am Nitya Muktaha. There cannot be any room for bondage in me. Till that, all these are very, very meaningful. You can't put the cart before the horse. Okay. So therefore, Adhyaha tu kalpitaha. Okay. So, Vidyaranya Muni had to digress. What for? What was it talking about? Jiva Brahma Aikya with the help of the Tattvamasi Mahavakya. In the 48th, that is 49th stanza. So, 49th stanza, the Purva Paksha came. So, and he had to digress to give the answer to the Purva Paksha. So now he is picking up the thread of Jiva Brahma Aikya, which he had left where? In stanza 48. So 48. So that is what now. So that means, yes, what was told there in that 48? Akhandam Satchidanandam Param Brahmaiva Lakshate. With the help of what? Tattvamasi Mahavakya Shruti. So that is, now he says, now this inquiry, actually what is conducted in terms of Tattvamasi Mahavakya is the so-called, what is that? Shravana. So it should be supplemented by Manana and Nididhyasana. So now means to gain the knowledge, the role of the Shravana, that means one has to take the inquiry into first and thereafter take to Manana and Nididhyasana. So there are stanza 53 and 54. That means they explain the Shravana, Manana and Nididhyasana. Shravanaditraya Nirupanam 53 and 54. These three explanation or the description of Shravana, Manana and Nididhyasana. Itham vakai sadarthanusandhanam shravanam bhavet. Yuktya sambhavitatvanusandhanam mananam tu tat. So this is what is Shravana, this is what is Manana. In next stanza he will tell us what is Nididhyasana. Itham, itham vakyaihi, yat, yat can be added there. Yat, tadarthanusandhanam, again tat can be added, tat shravanam bhavet. Itham vakyaihi, yat tadarthanusandhanam, sandhanam, tat shravanam bhavet. This is what Shravana is. What is that? Itham. Itham means in this manner. In this manner means in the as told from stanza 44 to 48. Jagataha yadupadanam. So that means that Tattvamasi Mahavakya, the ascertainment of the actual meaning of Tattvamasi Mahavakya by giving the Vachyartha of Tat and Svam, and then arriving at the, because the meaning is not sensible, Vachyartha is not sensible, arriving at the Lakshartha, as was pointed, Bhagataga Lakshana Vritti, Itham in this manner, so Itham, Vakyaihi, so by Vakyas, so Vakyaihi, what are Vakyaihi? Tattvamasyadi Vakyaihi, by Vakya, Mahavakyas like Tattvamasi, not just Tattvamasi Vakya, it's a sample. A sample analysis of Tattvamasi Mahavakya was conducted, it applies to any Mahavakya. So therefore, by the Mahavakyas like Tattvamasi, Vakya, that's a plurality. By Vakyaihi is a plural, not Vakyena, not Tattvamasi Mahavakya, no, Vakyaihi. By Mahavakyas, anyway, whatever it may be, whichever it may be. So, Vakyaihi by this is like Tattvamasi. Tadarthanusandhanam. Tesham arthanam anusandhanam. Not arthanam, arthasya. Tesham arthasya anusandhanam. That means anusandhana means avabodhana. Anusandhana means avabodhana means understanding. By deeper inquiry or by inquiry and investigation, understanding the import, the meaning of what it conveys. So therefore, anusandhanam, so that means understanding or gaining the knowledge by deeper inquiry of what? Knowledge of what? Tesham. Tesham means Tesham Mahavakyanam. Of those Mahavakyas like Tattvamasi Mahavakya. So, yes, that means with the help of these Mahavakyas, so by a deeper inquiry, so understanding the meaning of theirs, so that is arthasya. Again, artha is that. Tesha tadarthanusandhanam. Tesham arthasya anusandhanam. What is the artha here now? Artha here is Jiva Brahma Aikya. So the identity between the Jiva and Brahma, that is what is conveyed through the Mahavakya. So the artha is here Jiva Brahmanoho. So Aikyasya or Ekatva Lakshanasya Anusandhanam. Anusandhanam, understanding the or gaining the knowledge by deeper inquiry about the ekatva. Ekatva means identity between the jiva and Brahma, that is artha. Artha meaning of true, of what? Of those Mahavakyas like Tattvamasi. So that is Shravanam Bhavet. That is Shravanam. That is what is called as the Shravana. So Shravana is actually now inquiry into the Mahavakyas to ascertain and understand the import wherein we discover that Jiva and Brahma in reality are one and the same. This is what is Shravana. Not generally Shravana means what? Hearing, is it not? Listening. Listening to what? Listening to this in the sense inquiry. Actually it is that. Yes, it is inquired according to the guidance given by the Vedanta Shastra. We have to inquire and discover. Shastra gives us the pointers. So Shastra gives pointers. But we have to conduct the inquiry in accordance with the Shastra. So that is what Shravanam Bhavet. Okay. Is it over? Enough? No. Thereafter what you have to take to see, avabodhanam, anusandhanam amounts to take understanding by repeated inquiry. So the repeated inquiry is there in avabodhana, anusandhana. So repeated inquiry, because inquiry just like that may not be able totally truthful as such, because for this inquiry to fructify, what else is necessary? I think during last 6 months we have inquired many times. Don't think I am teaching something new here. Many times we have inquired. To be benefited by the inquiry, what is necessary? The right frame of mind, antakarana shuddhi, and that means also sadhana chatushtaya sampatti. All this must be there with the help of, that means having got that, all this readiness, preparedness, and then subjecting oneself to inquiry. So because of lack of this preparedness, antakarana shuddhi may not be there. Viveka, vairagya may be so, not totally absent. If totally absent, you would not have come here at all. So maybe so. So all these will have to be developed. So therefore repeated inquiry has to be there. And at times it may not be clear also as well. Because even the masters themselves know this is difficult to understand. Even Lord Krishna in Bhagavad Gita repeats. Because why? The concern is how best he can make understand this to the seeker. Because it's difficult to understand. That is so. Therefore repetition is necessary. Repeated inquiry, that avabodhanam, that includes all. Just not understanding. Understanding through repeated inquiry. That is what anusandhanam. Shravanam bhavet. Thereafterwards. See, vichara, that is the Shastra vichara or Shravana is twofold. First is Shastra vichara, to ascertain the import of the Shastra in terms of Jiva Brahma Aikya. That's what was here, that was Shravana. Thereafterwards, see, one has to ascertain the tenability of this, what has been discovered in terms of the vichara. See, the Jiva Brahma Aikya, which is discovered in terms of inquiry of the Tattvamasi, etc., is so, it is tenable, it is given to reasoning. Has to be. Why? Because my immediate experience is about the Jagat, and you are coming and talking here about the Nirvikalpa Brahma. Totally contradictory. The perception is contradictory to the declaration of the Shruti. How are you going to reconcile this? How are you going to ascertain that it is so only? Maybe Shruti is wrong. Of course, Shraddha is necessary. Though Shraddha is there, so it has to be supported by the reasoning. So therefore, that job is done by the Manana. So, Yuktya, by the Yukti, means it is to be taken like this. So, afterwards, first, having taken to Shravana, evam Shravananantaram Shrutasyarthasya Yuktya, by reasoning. When evam, in this manner of inquiry of the Mahavakya, Shravananantaram, after the Shravana, Shrutasya Arthasya, of whatever the Artha. What is Artha now here? Not just meaning. What is Artha? Jiva Brahma Aikya. The identity of Jiva and Aikya, Shrutasya Arthasya, Yuktya. By Yukti, let us, what Yukti will see afterwards. Sambhavitatva anusandhanam. Anusandhanam, by repeated inquiry, understanding the Sambhavitatva. Sambhavitatva, the possibility, the tenability. Now that means by yukti also it is so. It is not only declared by the Shruti, but it is given to reasoning. By reasoning also, arguments also, we can certainly arrive at this. So yuktya tadartha sambhavitatvanusandhanam, understanding or ascertaining the that is the possibility of this or the tenability of this. That is what sambhavitatvanusandhanam means. Ramakrishna gives as Shrutasya upapadyamanatva jnanam. The knowledge that the Shruta Artha, what is the Shruta Artha? Jiva Brahma Ikya is upapadyamanam. It is given to yukti. It is given to reasoning. That also, that is what is called as mananam bhavi. That is what is mananam. That is what is called as the manana. So mananam bhavi. Here, actually he has done it. How has he done? Starting from yukti, see, yukti, shabdasparshadayoho vedyaha, stanza 3 onwards. So, paratmanoho evam yuktya sambhavita ekata, stanza 43. 3 to 43, whatever, all the analysis that he has taken to is actually the sample of manana. The only doubt that can come in your mind is, somebody asked me long back, first Shravana you told and thereafterwards Manana, but why did Vidyaranya took Manana first and thereafterwards Shravana? According to him, Shravana is what? Inquiry into the Mahavakya based on the Shruti. And the Manana is ascertaining the possibility or the tenability of the same based on the Yukti. So of course, again we have already seen, what type of Yukti? Shruti Sammata Tarka, not any Tarka, sir. Shruti Sammata Tarka. So not any Kutsita Tarka, not Kutarka. Shruti Sammata Tarka. The Tarka, the Yukti, the reasoning in accordance with the Shruti. Now the question is, if that is what has been told from stanza 3 to 43 is Manana, and this is Shravana, why did he do that? First Manana he gave, and then he gave the Tattva Mahavakya. That is the freedom that is used by the Prakarana Granthakar. Prakarana Grantha. So Prakarana Grantha, Shrutyartham Vishadi Kurmaha is going to tell, look here, I am not telling something from my pocket, so I am just analyzing and unfolding the truth that is contained in the Shruti. So therefore, he has got that freedom to, at least to deal with the subject matter, to take first, because he has not started something. He has already the Shruti in the mind that he is explaining. So therefore, first he established with the Yukti. Also he has made a statement that by Yukti I am establishing that. Thereafterward, just to that means dispel the notion that perhaps he has told something from his own brain. No, look here, I have not told anything from my pocket. This is what is told by the Shruti. So in general, Shravana, Manana. Actually the proper teaching takes care of Manana. Means it is part and parcel of that. Means Shravana, Manana, you can't just separate like that. But this is the fact that means the truth contained in the Shruti unfolded, and that is the substantiated or not substantiated, the possibility of that, the tenability of that is established with the help of the reasoning. So that is how, that is mananam tu, mananam tu yat. It can be taken like this. Yuktya tu, you can add there, yat sambhavitatvanusandhanam tat mananam, add bhavet. By yuktya. So that is yuktya tu yat sambhavitatvanusandhanam. By repeated inquiry, understanding the possibility, the tenability of whatever the Jiva Brahma Aikya that has been established by Shravana. So that is what is called as the Manana. Because so long as the doubts are there, you may say, you may have Shraddha, but still within the bosom there may be doubts. So long as the doubts are there, that knowledge is not clear. At best it can be some information, useful no doubt it may be. It is information, no, it has to be thrashed free from all the doubts. So therefore this inquiry also is necessary. Means it's a twofold inquiry now. First, that is Shravana, that means Vichara is first, Shastra Vichara in terms of Shravana, thereafterwards, based on the Shastras only, you will find out the possibility of that. That is what Mananam tu bhavet. Okay. So now, Shravana, inquiry, thereafter Manana, that means you establish that same thing with the help of the reasoning and remove all the doubts. yet there can be a problem. I have got the clear knowledge what I am. What I am? Satchit Parananda. I can never be the gross, subtle, causal body. But hitherto what I was doing? I was taking myself as this embodiment. And now in spite of gaining the knowledge, aparoksha jnana, my earlier habit of taking this body as I, or habitual error of taking the body as I, the identification of the body continues. Therefore, though knowledge is there, I am not able to enjoy the fruit of the knowledge. What is the knowledge? I am Satchit Parananda. But the identification of the body is so intense, and because of identification, I get disturbed and upset and not able to enjoy, or that means, or dwell on the truth that I am Parananda. Therefore, this erroneous identification has to be destroyed, for which Nididhyasana is necessary. What is Nididhyasana? He is going to discuss. See tomorrow. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Fine, Mahishaha buffalo. See, now let us first see English thing. A person wants to know what is a cow. You see, to know cow, should know cowness. Now he has been told, cowness is different from buffalo-ness. Cowness is different from buffalo-ness. Now to know cow, what you should know? You should know buffalo-ness. You don't know buffalo-ness. Buffalo-ness is different from cowness.